D&K Fashions, what's going on? Hez Maria. Hez Marie, what's going on? It's all in the cards with Kathy. How are you? Reading between the wines, y'all. It's Wind Down Wednesday. We made it. It's crazy that we are here again this quick so soon. Tag your friends, let them know what's going on inside the, I was going to say the 411, going on inside of Reading Between the Wines. Wine Wednesday. What are you sipping on? No, I'm not. Not at all. So yes, welcome to Reading Between the Wines. No, I'm not drunk yet. I don't even get drunk on this show, but I'm not tipsy yet. But yeah, we are sampling Rain Cloud. We have author Red Flag coming in tonight. Yeah, Rain Cloud. But no, I'm not drunk. It's all in the cards with Kathy. Meanwhile, you probably are when you get ready to come up here. But yes, Wine Down Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. What are you sipping on tonight? I have Red Blend, a California Red Blend. Oh, Miss Rebel Jewel, how are you? Thank you for joining. Oh, and I love this song too. So, song of the day is PMS by Mary J. Blige, released in 2001 off of the No More Drama album. Probably the only woman in the world that could get me to sing PMS is Mary J. Blige. But I throw this record on sometimes when I can relate to, the ladies out there. Sometimes you don't feel like being nice to nobody. Sometimes you don't feel like smiling. Sometimes as Mary would say, you already know that you fucked up, and you fucked up, and you don't need somebody to remind you. Sometimes it just be like that. So, this weather is what did it for me. This weather, this coldness that's coming on. So I was just feeling, like Mary says, feeling a little bitchy today. So I had to throw on that PMS record, and it felt good to listen to it from 2001 off of the No More Drama album. So can you relate tonight? Anybody out there feeling a little bitchy? Anybody out there feeling like they really don't feel like being nice to nobody? Just for one day. We're not like that all the time, just one day. Reading Between the Wine, y'all. I want to give a very special shout out to my guest last night on the 411 podcast, Ian West. What's up, Ian West? We had some great conversation. He talked about the Fugees, Lauryn Hill. We talked about Mary J. Blige and talked about his music that's coming out, his EP. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. And it was a real great conversation. So go ahead and watch that replay. Of course, it's all in the cars with Kathy. The whiskey drinking, crazy thinking, shit talking that I ain't walking. Mrs. All in the Cars with Kathy. Thank you so much for the love support. We will get you up here in a minute. I want to give a very special shout out to Leah, Tone, my friend Neek from Coral LLC. Y'all go ahead and support. That's Coral, CORO.LLC. That is on Instagram. Go ahead and support my girl Neek. Recording artist Donna Allen. Of course, the one and only Miss Rebel Jewel. Thank you so much. Sophie Davis, Smutty Book Lady. She was looking at a few shows. Thank you so much for supporting as well. She wants to come back on Reading Between the Wines, and of course, can't wait till she comes back on. I think she got us kicked off of TikTok at one point. But yeah, shout out to Smutty Book Lady. Thank you. Bethany, my girl from California, she has a business called Fuck Being Fat. FuckBeingFat.com. That's PHUCK. beingfat.com. Go ahead and support my girl Bethany, and of course the queen over at Karma's Paradise, Miss K. Cole. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Miss Rebel Jewel says the cold makes us a beast. We're trying to survive. It's not even really cold here yet, but it's enough to where I had to get my jacket and be like, Yo, this is something different. This is something different compared to a couple weeks ago, and I don't like it. So I don't like any of the cold weather at all. I'm ready to go on vacation already. So I have a question for y'all. Are you embracing staying home? Speaking of trying to go on vacation in this messed up world that we're in, are you embracing this whole pandemic situation? You know, staying at home, being stuck at home, or are you ready to break free? Or maybe some of you out there have already broken free. What are you doing? Are you embracing staying at home during this pandemic? Are you ready to break free? Or did you break free already? And if you did, what do we got to look forward to? What's up, Cindy, out there on D Live? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. No more BS. What does that mean? What's up? What do you mean, no more BS?
I just decided I'm just gonna tell it like it is. I don't care anymore. I don't care.
So where did that come from? The PMS song that inspired you? Feeling a little bitchy? Don't feel like being nice to nobody? Don't feel like smiling?
Oh, I'll always smile. But I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where I have no more time to be fake. Not that I ever was, but you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if you saw my video tonight about my neighbors,
Oh,
you
my
know
goodness.
where I was coming from. And after that whole video, right? Right? Now, you know my one neighbor likes to smoke, right? So he was telling me that there's rats underneath my fancy PVC deck. And I'm like, well, this guy's just toking too much, right?
Okay. Let's get right on into it.
So my daughter says tonight, she's like, Mom, I think we got rats on the porch, living underneath the deck. And I said, I have never in my life had rats. I can't even fathom having a rat. But like if you watch my video from today, you'll understand because I was talking about my neighbors and how there's so much garbage all over the place and the stuff that I have to endure in this neighborhood.
So now you got rats living underneath your porch.
You know what? I'm going to get the cute orchid guy out here to see for myself. Ryan, the cute orchid guy.
Wow. On that note, since you discovered, what are you sipping on tonight?
You know what? I have such bad agita. Tonight and tonight only, I'm drinking water.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. We got water in here, and we have rain cloud.
I saw that. I feel like there's a rain cloud over my head.
So let me talk about this bottle of wine here. So it says rain cloud. There are two kinds of people in this world, and we're the ones who dance in every puddle. Which are you? Rain cloud red, literally bursting with a downpour of deliciousness from every juicy drop of California. Whether it's gloomy or gorgeous, don't wait another day to pop open this bottle. And I will tell you, this bottle of wine is 14.5%.
Nice.
So that's a lot. Rain cloud.
I like the marketing. That's pretty awesome. Don't wait another day.
You know how you are with marketing. Let Kathy tell you she's the genius of all hell marketing. Oh my goodness.
The genius of the nightmare.
Hear another one of those stories. I want to say a very special shout out to everyone out there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, Twitch. Thank you all so much for joining. And this is Reading Between the Wines, Wine Down Wednesday. And my wine, Rain Cloud Red. You're going to pay it's real nice and dark, isn't it?
It is.
You're going to pay anywhere between $5.99 and $7.99 a bottle. You're going to get 3 types of grapes. You're going to get Cabernet Sauvignon, Zinfandel, which is one of my favorites, the original red Zinfandel grape. I love that. And Shiraz. So 3 grapes mixed in, and this is what you would call a California red blend. Of course,
Looks good.
14.5%. So by the end of the show, who knows what the hell is going to happen? But it's very, very bold. It's a dry wine. This is not anything sweet at all. And you're
I'll
gonna
just be taking some of that.
and you're gonna get, oak, vanilla, chocolate,
Of course.
plum, cherry, raspberry. I knew you were gonna say that. You're gonna say they all have that in there.
They do. The oak is just bullshit. Like, why even leave it in there? Just like
Well,
everybody
it's
sees there's
aged. It's
oak.
aged in an oak barrel, so of course you're gonna get oak in all of them. You got to know your wines, lady. You got to know what's going on. This is called reading between the wines.
Well, you know what? You better enjoy your wine while you can, because there's going to be a wine shortage.
Well, I'm glad that I invested in some wine, and since it's a shortage, so that means that my stock is going to go up. Thank you so much.
Then do you have a whole cellar full or something? Like you have a wine cellar?
I can't
You
say.
can just walk downstairs and get your wine.
I can't say, but I am officially a wine investor, though.
Are you really?
Yes.
Wow. So you'll make out well.
Yeah, but it takes a while before you see anything. It's not something that happens
Nice.
tomorrow, because the wines take so long for them to, age.
Mm-hmm.
So what might be worth pennies today, once it's ready to go and be sold, 10, 20 years from now, you never know.
Well, I hope you invested in really strong wine. 20% or something like that. That's what the world needs, a 20% wine. We need to all drink and forget. Like a time zone, right?
Wow, you got all kinds of stories tonight.
I know, I've got a lot of issues tonight, don't I?
There's a song called I've Got Issues. Maybe that'll be song of the day tomorrow. I had some issues today. I got to be honest. I had some issues. That's why I play PMS. I don't play PMS unless I'm really ready to, have some road rage and, drive somebody off. That's the only time I play it. But today I was just like, yeah, it didn't start off that way, though. That's the problem. You start off well, right? But then little by little, everybody else's nonsense, drama, work, the phone, any little thing that comes across your screen, it chips at you little by little by little. So by the time the end of the day, you're ready to go off on somebody.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to watch out for your little electric car on the road.
Yeah.
It's what, 4-cylinder? 2-cylinder? How many cylinders?
I would think that it's. I would think that it's 4-cylinder.
4-cylinder. It's powered by those AA batteries or something like that.
It's interesting, but I can't wait to see. But they have all kinds of sports cars that are electric cars, all kinds, Mustangs and SUVs. It's going to be real interesting.
That is going to be interesting and expensive.
And they're also like the construction trucks and stuff. They're testing that now that they're going to be electric too. Hey, it is what it is.
You know what? I agree. It is what it is.
So we have author Retta Flag coming in. Now I had to warn her that you never know what you're going to get with Kathy on here. Please just hang in there with us. And she said, my book, it has nothing to do with wine. So I said, it's okay. I said, we're an interesting show here. So once you can get past Kathy, you can get past anything. So she said she'll give it a shot. Let's see if she answers her phone. I don't know.
Okay. I look forward to it.
All right.
I'll take that bet. Hey, SOS.
What's going on, SOS?
We got Sims. Red Flag author. Dr. Cole.
Your audio sounds great today.
Oh, good.
Hello, this is Retta.
Hello, Retta. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines.
I'm glad to be here.
Can you hear Miss Kathy?
No, I can't.
Say,
I wasn't saying anything yet.
Okay, now I can hear it.
Okay, all right, good. Because last week we couldn't hear. I don't know what the hell happened last week. So, are you sipping on any wine tonight? This is reading between the wines. We are sipping on. I'm sipping on Rain Cloud. I don't know what Kathy's doing today.
I'm drinking a little lemon water.
Ooh, I'm so glad that you brought that up because, I was talking about feeling down and feeling, the weather here in the Northeast is a little rough. But whenever I feel down, I drink lemon water.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's the lemon is supposed to be good for you emotionally too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll kick all of the winter blues away. It'll keep those nasty viruses away from you. So it will help you lose weight too, get your digestion together. So hot lemon water always works well.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson has a remedy for digestion. It's lemon, vinegar, and garlic salt. He's 3 years old. He says it's good for agita, like good for digestion.
Okay, so
Isn't that crazy?
couple things are wrong with this. Number one, that sounds absolutely horrendous. Number two, your grandson is like a genius. I think I have never seen a young toddler act like that.
I know, it's scary. Like he's reincarnated, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting. Wow.
I got to try that combo, though. That's what it reminded me of, your lemon juice. All you need is the garlic salt and the vinegar.
How is it that a 3-year-old knows that?
I have no clue.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. He's psychic.
Probably, yeah. See, Retta, I told you what was going to happen on this show tonight.
Yes, you did.
It's just so random, but this is what we do. Read it between the lines. So, where are you calling from? I know I was drinking a little bit, but I don't think I forgot to ask you where you're calling from.
Well, I live in Virginia Beach. I retired here about 4 years ago, and wanted a more moderate climate than Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
And it's really lovely here. I'm quite happy we moved here.
I was in Pittsburgh one time. I went to Kennywood, the amusement park.
Oh, yes. That's a great amusement park. Good ride.
Yeah, except I almost flipped out of a roller coaster there, though.
Oh, that would be sad.
That's a great story. That is a great story. I love that story.
I think it was Jackrabbit. The roller coaster was Jackrabbit, and you kept going up these humps. It was these little hills, and I was like, yeah, no, that was not safe at all. You remember that roller coaster?
Pardon?
Do you remember that roller coaster?
Yes, I've ridden on it. I have.
Well, when the little humps towards the end, that was not really good.
Yeah.
But that is a great amusement park, though.
Yeah.
I got to ask. I never rode that.
What did you say?
What was wrong with the humps? I never rode that. There's something wrong with the humps at the end.
It makes you like almost flip out of your seat, Kathy. I know you're talking about something else. And no, Retta did not write these types of books. So I'm going to need you to calm down with all of that. I warned you, Retta, how this was going to be.
You started it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, what kind of books do you write? Children's books?
Well, my book is cross-genre, and it won the Firebird Award, or #1 for cross-genre, and the second one for second place for mythology.
Oh,
so
I love mythology. Mm-hmm.
I knew this would be right up your alley. What's going on, Najee Beats Bangs? Thank you for joining. So, what's your book called?
Well, the title of my book is called 7 and an 8. And it's the myth that it talks about is the legend of the 7 sisters, the Pleiades. The Pleiades is a constellation. And
I'm like,
I got interested in it in the Pleiades. I was a practicing witch and had my own full moon circle, And one of the rituals, one of the full moon rituals, the seven sisters came and danced around the circle. It was pretty exciting. And so then I started researching them and realized that the myth of the seven sisters is more than this, minor Greek mythology. They were embedded in all of the ancient cultures.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Everyone,
okay.
On Reading Between the Wines and the 4-in-1 podcast, I swear, if you never believe anything that I say, this show here, everything that I do here is absolutely needed to happen. And this is why I continue to do it every day. And honestly, my hands are sweating right now because this is how real it is. I saw Retta, reached out to her. How long ago did I reach out to you, Retta? What was it?
Oh, it's been 6 or 7 months.
6-7 months ago, because we booked up really quick. So reached out to her 6-7 months ago, saw that she was an author. We got a lot going on, so it's spinning, and I don't never necessarily remember the titles, what they wrote. It's real quick. This is just real fast because the show exploded like crazy. Only to find out today that this is exactly what it's about, because we learned live on the air. Everything that she's speaking about, this came to me, and I had started to do research on my own about this type of stuff. I've been getting into to the moons and stuff like that, and everything that she's starting to lead us down. I was looking and searching up some of this stuff today and had no idea that she was going to be speaking about this. But go ahead, carry on, continue. You can go on. The show could be over now at this point, honestly, because I know that this is just so mystical. Some people say Mioho.
It's very cool. Very cool.
This is not the first time that this has happened on this show here, where someone brought up a topic or have been speaking about something that I was either thinking, researching on my own, and had no prior knowledge of it. Because, we learn about our guests live on air. So go ahead, Retta.
Yeah. Well, so there are different ways. There's the actual story of the seven sisters, and I tell the story through their eyes as sisters and lovers and goddesses, and what they came here to the earth to accomplish. Then at the same time, within the story, I have embedded spiritual exercises that anyone can do. So if you are one of those people that likes to learn about your spirituality from fiction, this is a great way to study spiritual principles and exercises that will help you in your own spiritual practice.
I like it.
Wow. I'm just speechless.
Yeah.
Larry,
and I also try to give a sense of a mystical experience, what it's like to experience energy beyond imagination. I've had a lot of experience with that, and so I get that sense of wonder and joy in the book too.
What were you saying, Kathy?
I think as you grow as a person, you're getting to that next level where you do get to be psychic. People that are open to the universe become psychic. I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
Nobody's going to say that. Well, if I was, first of all, if I was going to be psychic, right, I probably wouldn't have got myself into a lot of situations that I got into. But I kind of understand what you're saying. No, I feel as though me personally.
It's like what, that's like third eye, or
I feel as though I knew as a young kid that I was going to be real different, and I ran from it at a very young age, and I had an opportunity in my 20s, 30s, whatever, one of those, and I ran away from it again, and then it came back, 2018, 19, late 18, early 19, and something in me said that if you run this time, you're not going to be saved. Like if something tragic happens, it's just going to happen, because I've been pulling you towards me for so long, and if you run this time, you're just going to be saved. Oh no. But I always feel like I am from another world, like I don't belong here. I know that for sure. Like I'm
Where
always,
do you think you belong?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm always misplaced when I'm amongst a lot of people.
Well, and people with deep spiritual connections oftentimes feel different, feel out of place. And that's usually a good sign that you are connected to more than what I would say the average person is connected to.
I would agree with that.
I don't know how to take all of this, but okay, let's talk about something different. Take it off of me and let's tell us a little more about what are they called again? The Pleiades.
The Pleiades.
Yeah.
Pleiades, yes. Well, so the story is that the seven sisters were born from Pleiades, Pleione and Atlas. And I don't know if you remember the story of Orion chasing the sisters around, and he was real annoying. And Zeus finally threw the Pleiades sisters up into the heavens and created a constellation. And then Orion jumped into the sky to follow them. So they're in the heavens as two constellations with Orion chasing after the Pleiades through the sky.
Is that where the Orion belt comes from?
Yes. Orion the Hunter, yes.
Okay.
So that's the basic story. But in history, there are very few female avatars. And when I'm saying avatars, I'm talking about people like Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad. And so as history is unveiled by having female archaeologists look at it, there was, before what's called patriarchal society was matriarchal. And that meant land and titles passed from mother to daughter instead of from father to son. And everyone worshipped the goddess instead of the god was like this consort to the goddess. So that shifted during the patriarchal revolution, where the men took over the resources and the religions. Okay, so there were embedded in our history throughout time women who were here as avatars bringing spiritual teachings to the planet. So my book talks about the spiritual teachings that the sisters brought to the planet and maintained around the world. So I have one of the stories is about the Australia, India, and I even managed to throw in dragons and werewolves and vampires into the mythology.
So I'm going to have you read a little bit soon, but it's so interesting that you said Australia. So Australia is it plays a very integral part in this whole thing, right?
Yes. So are you familiar with the Tree of Life at all?
Yes, I've heard the story. I mean,
so it's a tree that goes from the roots to the earth and up into the heavens to the spiritual realms. So the seven sisters would come down this tree to the earth and walk around checking things out and tasting things and doing things, and then they'd go back up the tree and be gone for a while. So there was a shaman who wanted to capture them, and he captured two of them. And that's the story I tell about Australia, is how he captured them and then how they eventually get back up into the heavens.
Why would he want to capture them?
Well, number one, he wanted a woman. And they were very powerful. So
can you imagine?
Can
you imagine if we could do that today? Well, we can, but it's illegal. But
yeah. Well, he wanted their power spiritually as well, in my version of the story. So
That is so true.
He was using sorcery to keep them anchored into the planet with him.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he wanted to manipulate their powers, or the.
Well, we all have power, right?
Right.
But when you mix it with the wrong type of person or energy, you relinquish your power. And sometimes we forget that we are all avatars as well, and you give up your power when you get connected to the wrong types of energy.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
you're looking at
humanity.
No, I'm looking at myself in general, not you. I just looked in that direction. Oh man. Just thought I was talking about her.
Okay. So the other thing that my book looks at is what is the meaning of love? Because that's the true spiritual journey, is to learn the meaning of love.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard, and very few will be able to master it.
Well, it's interesting. So I found a spiritual teacher in the 1986, I think, and I was having a session with him, and he looked at me and said, "You need to love yourself more." And I'm like, "I love myself." So, and then he like arches his eyebrow at me and looks at me, and I'm like, "Oh man, I got to work on this." So off I go to find out about love. And it wasn't working out too well. Well, then I had this inspiration one day. In my family, when you wanted to love somebody, you gave them a hard time.
I'm familiar with
that. That was my definition of love. And if I wanted to love myself more, I gave myself a harder time, which didn't work out too well. So I had to look at what love meant to me and what I had learned it was, and then start from there and build my way up into a whole different view of what love means.
Wow. That is so powerful too, because I used to be like that too. I'm hard on you because I love you. And it's like, no, now I don't even like any type of aggressiveness. I used to be very aggressive back in the day. Now I want things just very mild and calm, and any little bumps that, shake things up a bit. And I'm like, ugh, I don't need to get away.
You're getting old, Larry.
Get away from whatever it is. That is so true. They said when you were in your 20s, your love is crazy. It's that back and forth stuff. In your 30s, you're trying to get it together a little bit. By the time you get 40, you'd be like, oh, I know this same story, and F that. I want nothing to do with that at all. And I guess that's where I'm at today.
Yeah, no more time for bullshit, right? It ties it all in together.
Yeah, no.
Time's precious. That's so funny. That's the second time today I heard love yourself. Because I took a chair yoga class, and the teacher was talking about self-love.
Let me about self-love here. Now, we all said that we're avatars. We all said that we have power, and you can do and have whatever you want. Why waste your time on one little thing when there's so many people in this world? And I'm not talking about, I'm talking worlds. Think big, everybody. Think big. If you were cursing that person out for the past 6 years and ain't nothing changed, what makes you think that it's going to get any better, honestly? If cursing them out and getting all crazy didn't work for the past 6 years, what you think doing the same thing is going to do? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Don't waste your time on one thing. There's so many. It's just so much out there.
Like chair yoga.
Do you mind if I read from my book about love?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
Oh, I do have one thing too. Before you go on there, I know we talked about Australia. Okay. What does Ireland play in this?
I don't have a story from Ireland.
I heard that Ireland is very interesting, and you might find some things in Ireland that you may not find anywhere else. And there's some.
Well,
power there?
Oh, yes. I've been to Scotland. I haven't been to Ireland. I've had amazing experiences in Scotland. But another issue that I address in my book is that everybody thinks about humans and we're the ones on the planet. There's been many kinds of creatures on this planet.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You'll find a lot of them in Ireland.
And different races. And that's one of the areas where there were other races. And they were centered there. So basically killed them off or made them go away. Yeah.
But not everybody's able to see. That's the thing. If you're on a lower dimension or you're on a lower, I hate to say lower level, but if you're vibrating at lower frequencies, that's the right terminology. People who are vibrating at lower frequencies, like level 3, I'm not sure if it goes lower than that, but level 3, yes, that's what it is. Lower than level 3, you're not going to see those types of things. When you vibrate at a higher frequency at maybe about 4, your eyes are open up. Maybe that's what you were talking about, the third eye or whatever. It could be called so many different things. You will start to see things that other people don't see.
Yes.
So,
and connect with things that other people don't connect with too.
There you go. Yeah. I'm so thrown back by this whole show tonight. I really am. This is amazing that I was researching this whole stuff for at least maybe about a week. Just reading up about these things, and I had no idea. So, okay, we're all ears here.
Okay, so in my book, I have the person who's on the spiritual adventure, who's the main character, which I don't know the name of my main character, which is really interesting. And the character meets this mysterious person in their dreams called the Hooded One, and they take journeys through time and space together. So they're talking to each other about the meaning of love and the spiritual adventure, which the Hooded One calls the spiritual adventure Ignatius. So Ignatius says, if love is so simple, why is it so hard? And the Hooded One answers, simple does not always mean easy. Think of love and tell me what it means. And Ignatius says, a glib answer dies on my tongue as I think of all my relationships and the many ways I experience love in this world. The love of my parents, siblings, friends, and lovers, my love of life and nature and pets. Do I know the meaning of love? So then the Hooded One answers, well, the power of love is simple. The expression of love in form is rich and diverse as it reflects the divine matrix that you call God or Goddess. And then Ignatius says, that doesn't answer why it is so hard to love.
Right.
And the Hooded One answers, it's not that it's hard to love, it is how you've been taught to love that makes it hard.
Oh, exactly.
People mistake power or lust or fear for love.
You got my number. Yeah. You got one of my numbers. I'm not going to repeat it, but I heard it loud and clear.
Wow.
That's always been my problem.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And so the Hooded One is very wise. Where does the Hooded One get the wisdom?
I'm sorry?
Where does
go ahead.
Where does the Hooded One get all of his wisdom from?
Well, since I'm the author, from me.
Okay.
This is just a distillation of what I've learned as a spiritual being.
Okay, that's what I was going to, that was going to be my next question, because obviously, you know, you had to do your research, you had to learn, you know, in order to, you know, put together a piece like this. So What age did your journey start?
Probably as a teenager.
Mm.
I loved Jesus, and then I went through a period of drugs and drinking, which is pretty much what you do at that age. And then I found existentialism in college. Are you familiar with existentialism?
Just say it again. Say it again.
Philosophy.
What is it?
Existentialism.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. It talks about, well, that life is meaningless and we create meaning for our life.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can have what's called an existential crisis, which you're not sure why you're here or what is true or not. It's a good philosophy. You should check it out maybe. And then I started just finding books about the goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And people who were writing books then about when I talked about the matriarchal society, they started talking about the goddess and how they worked. And it was just like when you find Jesus, I found the goddess. She was like everywhere. And then I started studying more and went deeper into beyond just the witchcraft and into what I would call mysticism.
My daughter was into all that as well. My psychic daughter. So I'm a little bit familiar with the goddess.
I thought both of them were.
No, not Kelsey.
No.
Mm-mm. No. Kelsey's into materialistic things. I shouldn't say that. She's into the thrift stores and,
I wonder where she gets that from.
I don't know.
Apple doesn't
got a
fall.
whole car full of stuff that nobody wants.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, right?
This is true.
I look at my kids.
Both my daughters. Though.
I look at my kids and I'm like, yep, I see exactly where you get that from. Yep.
Kind of neat.
My oldest daughter, she's going through a phase that I used to go through, with the whole materialistic thing too. So it's like, all right, I tried to warn you, but go ahead. I mean, because, I try to have you use me as an example, but that's okay.
Stages of life.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like just so blown back by this whole conversation and this whole.
Yeah, me too.
I was like I can't even get the terminology right, but it's Pleiades, right? Did I say it right?
Pleiades, yes. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is that?
Yes.
And I just kept trying to do research on it, and I was looking it up today, actually.
You know, it's funny. You just put a name to things that I never knew that that's what it was called. Say it again. Existential.
Existentialism. Existentialism.
Yeah,
I never could understand why I was always like swimming against the tide. But that makes sense. And it's funny. Everything I went through that made me so freaking miserable. It's now everything is cleared away, and I feel for the first time in a long time I feel happy. I really feel like no matter what comes my way, the worst is over.
Yeah.
And the best is here. I guess you have to go through that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting and recollecting about how I suffered from severe, and when I say severe cases of deja vu. Like as a child growing up, I would walk into a room like, I've done this before. Like something's not right. I've done this before. And it wouldn't just be like, one time and it's done. It would be enough to where I'd be like, needed to look up deja vu. Like, what is this? What's happening? Because I swear that I've done this before. Even like last night when I was on the podcast with Ian West and we were talking about specific music, I'm like, this has happened before. We were talking about music. We were talking about Nashville. Tennessee, and Asheville, North Carolina, and I swear that I had that conversation before. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Wow. So you do all the right things to say that.
I won't know everything, but it's certain things that will remind me, like, yeah, we've done this before.
That's cool, though. I enjoy that. I don't get that nearly as often. But I think deja vu is kind of cool, right?
If you say so. When you're sitting there thinking that you've done something and you're like, something's not right. Like, I've done this before. I say like around the age of 8 years old, it happened a lot.
Well, sometimes kids come in with memories of their past lives, and they have psychic abilities, but it gets like beat out of them because it's not normal.
I feel like I am like an old soul. I've always felt that. Like, yeah,
I can see that. You are.
This is interesting here. And a lot of people don't understand that about me, and they get a little, some people could get annoyed. I've had exes get upset because it just wasn't, we just didn't gel right.
It's different.
If that makes it's real different, yeah. But you know, you would think that an old soul, right? You know, we got to make you laugh on Reading Between the Lines. You would think somebody with an old soul would probably want to be with an old person, right? Nah, been there, done that. Yeah. I said maybe 10 years older than me wouldn't be acceptable. But somebody looked at me and said, Laird, I don't understand. What's wrong with you? Are you 40? Are you sure you're 40 years old? You look like you're 30 or 20 something. So maybe we might need to go in the reverse direction. Forget about the older. Maybe I need to find an old soul that's younger. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
This 14.5%.
It's starting to kick in.
It's starting to kick in.
It's starting to kick in.
Oh my goodness.
So where can we find your book?
There you go.
If you go to www.rettaflag.com, and that's RETTAFLAGG, and the book is titled 7 and an 8. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the regular places where you look and find books. And I have it in hard copy and ebook.
Very good. Now, I want to leave you with one thing, ask you one question. Have you ever been to Vegas, Nevada?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's the power there? Anything in Nevada?
I would call it manifestation energy. Now, again, energy is neutral until you use it in some way or perceive it in some way, and it gets perceived through our own filters. So, but it seems like that's a place where people go for their hopes and dreams.
Okay. Ooh. Well taken.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's also, I would say I would have to agree with you, like as a psychic, because so much of that is just sand, you know, no water, just plain sand. That's where, I mean, think of all the energy that has. It has anything from the mob taking people out to the desert to dispose of them, to, people living off the land, Native Americans. It's pretty cool.
To extraterrestrials.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of energy.
Yeah.
I know I saw something there that freaked me out. Freaked me the hell out. And I wasn't going any close to it. I didn't want to see nothing part of it. I saw all I needed to know, and it was time for me to get the hell out of there. That's all I know. So
what'd you say? You're gonna not tell us?
I don't know if it was real or not, but when what are they called? Spacecrafts, I guess, or
Like a UFO?
there you go.
UFO.
The indentation on the Earth of it laying down. Because you know how it's like circular and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, crop circles.
I looked at it and I said, I don't know if that's a joke or they planted it because you know that whole area, what is it, 51 or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I ain't sitting around long enough to figure out. And all you heard was gunshots. Like, why is all of these gunshots going off? Or is someone like shooting something out of the sky? This just don't seem normal to me. But all right. I don't feel comfortable, and I don't feel comfortable with my family being here. Let's get the hell out of here. like the ghetto news reporter. What the?
It's probably the government, right? Trying to get you off the land, right? Like, start firing some shots.
I just didn't like it at all. But so now, where can we find you at? I know you are on Instagram. Are you on any other social media networks? You have your own website?
I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Okay.
So Twitter is Flagretta, and Instagram is RET Flag Author on Instagram.
Very good. So Flagretta, so that would be, this is on Twitter, right? That would be FLAGGETTA. So please go ahead and follow and support author Retta Flag. And let's hope that I got this right. The name of your book is A 7 1/8.
Yes.
All right. So this 14.5%, I'm able to hang with it a little bit. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
I am just so overwhelmed by this whole show and the conversation, and I'm just going to have to, let it all sink in, and I'm sure you will hear from us soon, and we would love to have you back.
Oh, I'd love to come back. It was a pleasure. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yes. Very good.
Likewise. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
You're signing off, Kathy, too?
I am. I'm like you. I just got to digest it a little bit. That was awesome.
No, I know what you need to digest because it's probably staring at you on the other side. Get out of here. Go ahead. I'll talk to you later.
I was staring at that stupid Seinfeld again. I'm done with Gorilla Glue.
I saw you do look at something. Good night. Take care.
Good night. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Very special thank you to author Retta Flag. And I want to thank each and every one of you out there for hanging out there with us tonight on this Good Wind Down Wednesday. Instagram, I see y'all out there. Thank you so much. D-Live, I want to thank Cinny, and I want to thank Kentucky Boy 88. Thank you so much for joining. And everyone out there on TikTok, I never know who's out there. Same thing with Facebook. I never know who's out there until everything's all said and done. But I just want to say thank you so much. Now, if you want to support Reading Between the Wines or the 4-in-1 podcast, go ahead and click that link above. All of my social media platforms. And I'm so thankful to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, DLive, and Twitch. Go inside of those links up there and go inside of Shop Black Diamond. Anything that you purchase from there will help support Reading Between the Wines and the 4-in-1 podcast. And today and tomorrow, you get free standard shipping on anything that you purchase from Black Diamond. And of course, again, I want to thank all of you out there for all of the likes, the comments, the shares, the love, just by you coming in tonight and, chilling out with us tonight is enough. And I just want to say thank you so much. And of course, my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all this Reading Between the Wine show and the 4-in-1 podcast one more time in life. Without him, none of this would be possible. And of course, without the love from each and every one of you out there, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I just want to say thank you much. What's going on, Jetta? How are you? Her Soul Beauty, how are you? And tomorrow, we have Mr. Chris Anderson coming in on a 4-in-1 podcast. I'll be right here again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. Put it on your calendars. Do whatever you got to do. Invite a friend. Come right on in. We have some fun on the 4-1 podcast. You never know what's going to happen. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Thank you so much. Take care now. Good night. Good night, y'all. See you. Thank you.